For years, we've talked about the Fort Gordon Dinner Theater, but as you know, it's now Fort Eisenhower, and the dinner theater has a new name too, the Presidential Dinner Theater. Longtime friend of the show, Steve Walpert, is with me today. And Steve, it's always great to see you. Thank you for being here.
It's great to be here.
You are directing the upcoming show. It's called A Tuna Christmas, coming up in November. But, you know, this is a really big change. How hard is it going to be for us to say the Presidential Dinner Theater? We've got to get used to lots of changes over there.
Well, for me, after 40 years, I have to pause. I have to go, oh, yes, I work at the Fort Gordon Dinner Theater. Oh, there I did it, the Presidential Dinner Theater. Yeah, it's
That's funny.
But, you know, I think it's a good change, and I support it. The Presidential Dinner Theater is it's the same people, okay? It's the same talent. It's the same fun, good food that you always have experienced out there. So only expect a name change when you come out.
Sure. Okay, good to know. Well, speaking of names, you've got two big names coming up in A Christmas Tuna.
Oh, right, yes.
Tell us a little bit about it.
I have two gentlemen, John Hudgens, who people have seen a lot at the Players and at Le Chat Noir.
Yeah.
It's his first time with us. And then Brandon Bruni, who's done lots of shows with everybody in town. He's known a lot for musicals because he's got an incredible voice, but he's also a terrific actor, both straight and character. Both these guys are comic geniuses. You know, there's been a lot of talk about the sad loss of Matthew Perry this week and what a genius he was. These guys are also amazing. They play more than 20 characters between them. And it's not like they go off stage and compose themselves and then somebody goes, okay, here's your jacket and let's put you. These are split-second changes. I'm sorry for the clap if that, okay. Like, for example, there's two radio announcers, okay?
Okay.
You know, Arliss and Thurston, okay? They're chatting away on the radio, and then, like, one of them will excuse himself. He'll go off to refill the coffee pot, and without a beat, he like walks in another door, like in another corner of the stage, as a person doing a commercial as another character, okay? And then the other, he comes back and pours himself a cup of coffee and sits down, and then Arliss gets up and he walks over there to refill his flask, and he comes out and he's like, Petey from the Greater Tuna Humane Society, and he's talking about people can't keep bringing these wild animals to him because he's all bandaged up and got bites on his fingers, and but they're so funny. And the way they change is, you know, when these guys change, they don't just like change their voice. They have to change all their mannerisms, from their walk to the way they carry their body, to to the pitch and timbre of their voices, and especially if they're changing like from a man to a woman, you know, because they'll be.
So they change genders too.
So
wow.
Yeah, so if he's like, I'll tell you what, Arliss, okay, and then he comes back on and it's, he's a girl and he's talking like this, and except and it's so funny, and the thing of it is that the show is well written. Sears and Howard were the original writers and actors in this, and they made several tuna plays famous, and they've written some really, really funny lines, and these jokes are funny, the situations are funny, and also there's some tender moments in it as well, like the grandmother and her grandson. It's the same guy who played the grandmother and her grandson played the two wacky waitresses in the local tuna diner, okay? And so it's like, but it's like in the diner scene, it's especially funny. Like there'll be two waitresses, then one of them goes off into the kitchen and comes back as a customer at the walk-up window, and then he goes back and becomes the waitress again, and then the other one goes off to meet her boyfriend and comes back in as the flamboyant local community theater producer.
How in the world did they?
At one point, one of them runs off, okay, and into the kitchen and has a fight with himself as two different characters. So it's just, I'm sorry I'm blabbing so fast. It's just, I just love
that's what
the
you've
show.
been working with, people that are doing so many characters.
I laugh every night in rehearsal.
I'm sure you do. I don't know how they keep it straight. This is going to be very fun to watch. And what is also fun about the the Presidential Dinner Theater is the food.
Oh, yeah.
So do you know the menu? And
I do.
What about reservations?
Okay, well, make reservations soon, because there's a deadline for us to then turn up names over to the club for what our count is. So
Okay.
if you want to come, call the beginning of the week at least for the weekend.
All right.
You can't get a ticket on Friday for Friday, you know.
Yeah.
And then it's the same thing. And also the menu. Okay.
Yeah.
The menu is that it's Thanksgiving themed. So there's roast turkey, carved turkey, and carved ham, and then some low-down home style vegetables with it. I know
Nice.
there are greens on the menu.
Yeah.
But there are also a lot of other good things too.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, we have all the information for you. We're going to give it to you in just a second. And the number you need to call to make those reservations for a Tuna Christmas. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Steve Walpert, thank you for sharing with us
thank you
today.
so much.
It's
It was
always
great.
great to
Okay,
see
thank
you.
you.
A Tuna Christmas is coming up this weekend, November 10th through 12th, and November 17th and 18th. Evening shows are at 8 o'clock. Dinner starts at 6:45. The matinee on Sunday, November 12th, is at 3 p.m., and that late lunch is at 1:45. You can call 706-793-8552 for reservations. Let me give you that number again. It's 706-793-8552, or you can email lee.thomas.naf@army.mil. Do you have medical equipment that needs to be donated? Or do you need medical equipment or supplies for free? Still ahead on Jenny, we'll show you a place where you can do both. Dana's Recovery Room is meeting a unique need in our community, and you will love the story behind it. One woman turning her pain into purpose.